Hello and welcome to episode 34 of the Heart of Markness podcast. Hola. It is Mark, that's me. And tonight, today, now, then, later, all temporalities covered, we are going to be talking about and listening to songs from Led Zeppelin's concert in Copenhagen, Denmark, May 3rd, 1971. Now, this is typically one of the top 10 Zep shows on most lists. Or if it's not, it's typically an element, honorary mention. It is not the best audio recording that you've heard, and it's not the worst that we've played. I would say it's a very good audience recording. It's a little distant and a little echoey and boomy, but here's why we're going to listen to it anyway. It contains one of the only, if not the only, recordings of live performances of Four Sticks and Gallows Pole. Now, both of those songs were covered in the Page Plant Unleaded reunion, so it's not all that mysterious, but these are the only Led Zeppelin performances that I know of. There may be a couple more, but as far as I know, this recording is the only recording of those songs. And as such, it is noteworthy, and I want to bring it to you. And it's a great show anyway. There's not many shows from the beginning of 1971, or the first half of 1971, unfortunately. And they were on fire. I mean, as you heard, a few months later in Osaka, or in Japan, they were nuts. Robert's voice is even better on this leg of the tour. Why is that? Because he's a little bit younger and he has spent a little bit less time destroying his voice. So we have a hungry young Led Zeppelin that is now on top of the world. Zeppelin IV has been recorded, but it has not been released yet. So there are people who are hearing Four Sticks, Rock and Roll, Black Dog, Stairway to Heaven, Misty Mountain Hop, all for the very first time. And as such, we're going to have our first performance of Stairway to Heaven on this podcast. Gee, Mark, isn't that their most popular song? Why haven't you played it before? Because it's trite. That's why. It's Stairway, but it's not as legendary as far as Zeppelin as like Dazed and Confused or Since I've Been Loving You or some of those other songs, No Quarter, that change and evolve. Now, Stairway does change and evolve over the course of their career. Yes, it has. And maybe we'll touch upon it someday. But in any case, shut the fuck up and enjoy the fact that we're going to listen to some kick-ass, top shelf, and rare Led Zeppelin. Those of you with keen ears and long memories will notice the same kind of clapping and yelling that the band experiences in 1979. When they do the July 23rd, 24th warm-ups for the Nebworth shows. The audience is kind of a pain in the ass, but here with a little bit of context, you realize that's just how Danish audiences be, apparently. So, okay, well, before we get to that, let's apologize. Apologies for the late podcast. It's 2 days late. This week at work has been just fucking grueling. It was really, really busy, and we're short-staffed. We're about half staff. I work at an analytical laboratory that tests for asbestos. I don't do the testing. I'm not a science guy. I kind of run the office and do that shit. But it was very, 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 very busy this week, and since we're very short-staffed and the staff that we do have, many of them are taking time off for the holiday because for those of you not listening to this as a new podcast, it is December 21st as I record this, 2019. Man, it's funny that this recording is going to live forever. Skynet's going to encapsulate this in silicon somewhere and leave it in a mountain as a memory of the race that gave birth to the AIs. Anyways, that's fine. Yippee. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Sorry I'm late. It was just crazy, and I didn't want to deliver a half-assed, hey, thanks, here's the music. Because, why not just wait until I have some time to fire up some gumption to find some songs, because plus I hadn't found a show I wanted to do yet. There's a lot of stuff in the works, but that's all stuff that takes time to percolate. And, I wanted to find something neat and noteworthy because we've been dealing with Page Plant and Robert Plant the last few, and I wanted to get back to the meat and potatoes of Led Zeppelin and find something that you guys can just enjoy so it's not all just ephemera and esoterica here. There is, in fact, delicious meat and potatoes for you. So, in the spirit of that, let's open with... You know what? Let's open with Four Sticks. This is nice. This is kind of the tail end of the... Actually, yeah, the very tail end of the era when Led Zeppelin was much more spontaneous on stage. From 1972 onward, they were superstars, and they had a fairly solid not stagnant, solid stationary set list that just kind of lasted with very few exceptions. And within that framework, they did boogie around a lot, don't get me wrong. But here in 71, we still have surprises like this, where they obviously just pulled it out of their ass, and maybe they were working on it in sound check, or just were having a great show, or feeling adventurous, and said, fuck it, let's play Four Sticks. So, who am I to argue against the judgments and wishes of the mighty Led Zeppelin? So, gentlemen and ladies, I bring to you Led Zeppelin, May 3rd, 1971, Copenhagen, Denmark, the rare, maybe even the only, performance of Four Sticks. See you in a few.
This is the thing I was saying we've never done before. Seems we have to come round to it. So here we go. This hasn't even got it hasn't got a title yet, but we'll think of one as the light goes on. For your entertainment.
there you have it. Possibly the only live performance of Four Sticks by Led Zeppelin. Pretty cool. I know the recording is not the best quality, but as a historical document, it's indispensable. And, shit, it's Led Zeppelin. Who's going to bitch about that, huh? You? Then you're listening to the wrong podcast, my friend. Alrighty. One down, two to go. Another song and one more show. Okay. Immediately after Four Sticks, they went into Gallows Pole, which is played on the 12th string because don't forget Jimmy has his double neck now. So we've entered a new era. And so let's go with Gallows Pole. And then we will be back, hop into Stairway, and then we go on our merry way. All right, friends. Same show, May 3rd, 1971, Copenhagen, Denmark. And there's zero chance that while you were listening to Four Sticks, I cooked and ate a pizza and started watching Witcher and then said, oh yeah, podcast, and jumped back in. So here we are. No temporal anomalies here. All right, Gallows Pole, again, one of the only, if not the only, live performances of this. Important stuff. Sit up straight. Here we go. I'll be back.
You should really hear that.
I know the sound quality is rough. I can't help it. There's only one source for this show. There's a million different bootlegs, but it's all rips copies of the same source tape. So I went to this, which is a DAT off the master tape. I think it's about as good as it's going to get. Maybe there's a remaster out there that I haven't found, but this is it. So I could have brought a pristine soundboard of a show that's just a standard show, something from 75 again. There's a lot of soundboards for that. But I wanted to present something new and neat, and I hope you were able to enjoy it and listen to it. I would have loved to have more clarity. Obviously, Bonzo's drums are kind of muddled in the back. You could hear Jonesy pretty well. His bass came through pretty good, and Jimmy's 12-string came through, and Robert's voice. Oh my God, Robert's voice. Some of the runs Jimmy played towards the end, kind of reminiscent of The Song Remains the Same, so there might be a little bit of germination there going on. That's cool. We noticed that. Bits of future songs poking up in the past, like the Achilles' Last Stand run. That showing up in Dazed Confused years before. So I hope you enjoyed it. Got one more for you. It's Stairway to Heaven. And, I could have gone back and played the first ever Stairway, which was in March, I think, in Dublin of 71. But we're here. Zep IV it wasn't released yet. None of these songs were known. So the last thing we're going to play is Stairway to Heaven. And it's interesting in that these people live in a world with no Stairway to Heaven. They're about to hear this song for the first time ever. And it's interesting to hear Zeppelin play Stairway without the audience going, "Oh my God, it's Stairway!" For them to just be like, "Oh, this is one of their new songs? Okay. Well, hopefully next song they'll play is Heartbreaker." But it's important. It's good. There's a little looseness there. The live format hasn't been locked in. Robert does a little bit of vocal improvs here and there. And the clarity, it's good enough to listen to. It's good enough to listen to. So, I hope you forgive me for having a sub-standard audio recording of a legendary show. So that's what we had to do. So here we go. Stairway to Heaven, March 3rd, 1971. Nothing changes from song to song. Mark, why do you keep saying it? I don't know. Stairway to Heaven. Bow, now, 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 now. See you in a little bit. Well, in a little bit, like 12 minutes. It's Stairway. Bye-bye.
People here smiling anyway. This is a thing called Stairway to Heaven off the next album. And it goes on for some time and it gets nice. So that's profound statements. The feeling I get when I look to the west, and my spirit is crying for me. In my thoughts, I see brings the smoke through the trees, and the voices of those who sell no king.
I like at the end, whereas it was winding up, they didn't clap, and then you just hear a couple of people going, and then it starts. That's interesting. You just listen to X number 1,000 people listening to Stairway to Heaven for the first time in their lives. And it was different. It's different than The Song Remains the Same version, which is 73. By that time, they've locked into the format of the song. By that time, it had already become a huge song. Now, this is just something that they're just putting out there. Isn't that fascinating? And yes, I know the recording is not good. And whatever. It's what we got, my friends. It's what we got. Next week, I will try and find something of excellent soundboard quality, even if it's not the most amazing show, simply because it's much more enjoyable to listen to. But I wanted to get this out here because it's legendary, and it's rare, and it is a really hot show for Zeppelin, and now you got to hear it. Glad you liked it. And, all right, here comes the stuff that happens every week. Follow me on Twitter, Heart of Markness, at Heart of Markness. Do it. We can be friends. I'll talk to you. You'll talk to me. It'll be great. I talked to some of you people. In fact, I talked to some of you people this very week. Facebook, same deal. Heart of Markness. I have a group on Facebook. Ask to join it. It's not a free join thing. I don't know why. I think that's just how I did it when I started it, but I will let you join, and then you can be in there with a few dozen people who like the podcast, and there's more stuff. I mean, the Twitter and the Facebook group are not necessarily just stagnant. I do put additional content in there. I do put stuff on my website, which is heartofmarkness.com. All of the shows and podcasts are current on heartofmarkness.com, and all the shows that I talk about in the podcasts are available for free download on heartofmarkness.com. So, if you want to hear this whole show, you can download it. If you want to hear some of the other ones I've done, you can download them. Go to heartofmarkness.com. My shows are available for free. I got them for free. You get them for free. That's the deal. Oh, goodness. Well, Christmas is coming up, and I got my Christmas shopping done for the kids. Everybody else that's a grown-up is going to have to wait till my next paycheck, because most of my money from the past that I had saved up went towards the doctor for my various maladies, but they're all taken care of, so that's good. So I hope y'all have a wonderful holiday, and if you're listening to this after December 2019, because these are archived forever, then I hope you have whatever holiday is closest to you, and if there isn't one near to you, then I hope you have a great day. I love it that you guys listen. I love hearing from you guys saying that you like the podcast, what you like, what you'd like to hear. You know, lay it on me. I don't always do it, like the guy that wanted the history of Stairways. I can't make that into a podcast because each performance of Stairway is like 12 minutes long at least. And, you know, I don't want to, I'd have to play like 5 different versions of the same, you know, anyways, blah, 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 blah. Never mind. Dead horse beating. Thank you. Thank you for listening. I love doing this. I petered out after a while when I first started. I went almost a year between podcasts, and I am not going to let that happen again. So, I think the last 29 podcasts or so, no, 24 podcasts have been one a week for almost half a year, and I'm going to keep it going. And sometimes that means you don't get the most amazing podcast because I'm not in the best mood, or just, you know, the energy's not great, or I'm sick or something, but I'll still put something out. This week I did have to postpone it because I was just so busy at work, and I got home late, and by the time I got home I was just wiped, and I just wanted to sleep, and I figured I could postpone 48 hours in order to give you, you know, at least my best effort, as good as that is. So thank you for bearing with me. Thank you for listening. Follow me on Twitter if you're on Twitter. Follow me on Facebook if you're on Facebook. You know, if you like this podcast, you know, drop me a line. Let me know. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you want to hear. I like hearing from you. Let's make this a dialogue, yo. So, all right. Next week, Christmas. I don't know if the podcast will be on Thursday because that's the day after Christmas. But there will be a podcast next week, either before, on, or around Christmas. I won't let you down. I love you guys. Thank you. Adios.